Ashe, y'all. It's Godson. I'm just here at the airport right now, Chicago Airport to be exact. Gonna be boarding all the way down there. But I just wanted to just flee about the science of the airport, the portal technology, as well as ley lines, grid lines, and currencies. So when you go to an airport, especially if you're an international traveler, one of the first things that you'll notice as you are going into the international spaces, they always have currency exchange. Currency. When we're dealing with the currency, we're dealing with energy flowing, a flow of current, a current of C. So anything that's current, a current is symbolic of just a flow state. So when we talk about currencies, we're talking about different energetic wavelengths that we're exchanging, and we're using those as energetic sources to be able to do trades, commerce, trades and commerce, to be able to exchange goods and services for a tangible energetic tool or device, which would be considered the currency. Now, the currency in today's society, or in the old world society, was so-called money. Money was also used as a tool of enslavement, because when you use that currency, that form of currency is actually a low vibration of currency that takes you out of your high vibrational wavelength, your high vibrational currency, and forces you into a low vibrational frequency. Hence the reason why you see so many people with so much money that are low vibrational beings who are just using it as a control mechanism to power and to reign over other people. Now, when you exchange your currency and you're going into different states, right? Now we're just talking about just even the states. I'm talking about getting into the state aspect. You talk about just traveling from one state to the other. I went from California to Arizona, and that's just one bordering state. And the difference is monumental. We're not just talking about a Democratic versus a Republican state, or none of that. I'm talking about the state of being, the state of consciousness of the people, the state of affairs, the way things move, the way things flow, man, look, in a place like Arizona, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, you can, when you drive your cars, it's open. The lanes is open. You see people ain't thinking about, it's not as micromanaged as for, say, certain cities in California. But even within the cities or the states within California, you can have one city in California, and then 3 counties over, that city is completely different. So each and every state is symbolic of a state of being, or a state of vibrational consciousness. When you think about some of these places that have very, very high cost of living or expenses, or the real estate is through the roof, a lot of times that's attributed and also is connected to where that location is. 99% of the time, that's always what it's about. Location. People are buying homes, real estate property, investments for prime real estate location. Now, what is that location about? For example, we'll talk about, beach cities, Newport, Malibu, these places that you all hear about. What's so great about them? The energy. People understand that when you're in those centers, why is it that only wealthy people live there? It's because that energy is of wealth. It's of abundance. It's high vibrational. The location itself is high vibrational. Just living in those locations. That's why it's so important sometimes to relocate, to put your energy into another field, into a different state, into a different frame of reference, so that you can actually harness, tap that, and pull and extract some of that energy for yourself. That is your energy. Bringing that in to airports, for example. Airports, if you really look into it, are portals. Every single airport is built on top of what's called a ley line. So ley lines are this grid. Remember, everything is energy and vibration, right? And the first law is the mind is all, the universe is mental. I'll tie this all together and we'll do it quickly. When you're looking at an airport, air, obviously, portal, a portal of energy. Remember? Currency, also a current of energy. Sea, air, airport, sea, air and sea connecting. That's how they connect the energies together. Listen, so when you're looking at an airport, these are all built. Any airport that you look at, especially the major ones, look at any major cities' airports, these big airports, they're built on top of ley lines. And I guarantee you, if you were to do your history and really dig deeper, that airport that they built this airport station on, prior to that, if you look at the indigenous uses for that area, a lot of times these were stargates for ancient civilizations. These could have even been different burial sites. where the ancients would have believed or would have known that it was a portal to where spirits could come in and out of this dimension, in this realm. It's also built on specific ley lines or energy grids of the earth. So even if you're looking at, for example, in the U.S. here, old world United States, if you look at any major sporting arena, for example, Oracle Arena up in the Bay Area, Madison Square Garden is a great example. The former Staples Center, which I think now is Crypto Center, or now it's Godson 7 Arena. But you look at any of these facilities and you see where they're built on. In addition to that, even government buildings, city halls, all these different things from they're all built on ley lines. Ley lines are grids of electromagnetic energy on the earth, and this is no pseudoscience. This is actually documented, proven, scientifically backed, peer-reviewed, all that. Ley lines and energetic grids of the earth are common knowledge. That's the way the energy flows through the earth. So these things, the people that built these countries, they understood that. They were obviously Masonic. They were obviously occulted, meaning they had a deeper understanding of ancient principles and secret sciences. And so that's why they were able to build these communities or countries or cities on these grids in that way, and it harnesses power, it harnesses energy. If you put something that's your government building or your church on a specific ley line that's known to harness a lot of energy and power, and people come there, they're going to feel something. Or you'll just put it there to establish your authority and your power. So when we're dealing with the airports, all these airports are built on those. And when you look at a portal is a space where energy can move, energy can jump, essentially. So a quantum portal, prior to this new old world, there were literal portals. So in the same sense that we think of this as being some advanced thing where, we go here, we go through TSA, we, check our luggage in, do this, do that, get searched, screened, blah, 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 unless you flying private like me, you know what I'm saying? Manifesting, see what I'm saying? Manifesting. Then what happens is, you think that this is some advanced thing that we have here in the 21st century. This is not. This is primitive. This is, and primitive not in the primal sense of primitive as being something that's actually good. It's primitive in the sense that this is like very, very elementary level stuff, beneath elementary level, kindergarten. In ancient days, this isn't even getting into the Sumerians or the Lemuria or Atlantis. Like, that's even beyond that. But even if you look at relatively recent Egypt and Mesoamerica, where any place in the world where you see pyramids at, those were teleportation devices to where the energy was built on such a grid, and the science that they had, the free energy technology, they actually could go into one pyramid in one part of the earth and come out of that in another pyramid anywhere else in the earth. And these are some of the secrets that the ancients held to. We understood that everything, from a quantum level, we can. It's called quantum entanglement, and then you can also look at the double split experiment. You can read a book entitled "The Field" by Lynn McTaggart. Even better than that is The Holographic Universe. The Holographic Universe. Read that book. The Holographic Universe. It puts all this into perspective. And then you'll start to see things. So all it's really about is getting your mind to be able to think about things in a different capacity and in a different manner. So what I'm saying is this. If you look at the people who travel at the airport quite often, a lot of them are involved with currency. That's why the currency exchange, the C is going with the arrow, right? They're the ones that are teleporting. This is the modern form of teleporting. We think that we're riding this airplane or this craft to take us to our destination. In actuality, if you understand, and you do understand, the first law, the first rule, or the first universal principle, the first universal principle is mentalism, the law of mentalism. The mind is all, the universe is mental. You can't get into cause and effect. You can't get into the law of vibration. You can't get into the law of attraction, all that stuff like that, unless you first understand the very first law. That first law, once again, states the mind is all, the universe is mental. This is a mental construct. Before you travel anywhere, before you even, let's say, and let's put this in perspective. Let's say that you and your family have planned this trip to Hawaii for the last 6 months. Before it was even planned, before you got tickets, before you got your Hawaiian shirt to throw on, before you got the, your khakis that you're gonna wear, and you bought your wife, or she got her little luau dress, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff like that. You thought about it. You imagined it. You visualized the hotel you're gonna stay at. You thought about the dancing. You thought about the food and then drinking fresh coconut water or whatever, pina coladas on the beach. You saw that so intently, and a lot of times you had to think about it for years sometimes for people. And it was a dream and a dream and a dream until it gets to a crystallization point where you actually, everything falls in line to where I can make that happen. Then you book the flight and the tickets, and it's this whole process, right? Where did it start? In your mind. These are just the tools. You could actually go there without an airport. Through your mind, if we understood how to actually use this tool. And it's not even here. That's the funny thing. You think that we think that we've been programmed to think our consciousness is here. No, it's not here. The brain. But no, our consciousness is outside of the physical body. So you look at people that are businessmen, people that work very closely with governments and things. These people are always traveling. They're always at the airport. They basically live in the airport. Dignitaries, people like that, such as myself, we're always, and by the way, this is pure black Colombian roast coffee. Nothing in it, no cream, no sugar, nothing. It's pure. And so back on track. You look at that people like that, they're always in the airport, always traveling, always moving around. Their energies are in tune with that currency, with that flow. So they're always going to be traveling, they're always going to be moving. Some people have never, left their city, or never rode an airplane, or never traveled outside of the domestic walls, or domestic borders. It goes into a whole different realm of current when you travel outside of your country. Then you're opened up. So once you're in this portal, like this is the arrow portal. I call it the arrow portal. Arrow portal. Once you get into the arrow portal, it becomes easier and easier to return into that. That's how people start getting into that jet setting lifestyle. If they're becoming consciously aware, you don't have to have money. What? You don't have to have money? Hear me. You don't actually have to have money. You have to have a strong mind. And you have to have a great imagination. And then the money, meaning the currency, aligns to your current. Do you see? And then that will take you into the air portal to where you can go wherever you want. There's no limitations to where we can travel. There's no limitations to things that we can do. The only limitations is on us. Oh, how am I going to do that? I have work tomorrow. Man, I can't do that. I don't have the money. See, these are the things that you have to eliminate from your mind. You have to build your imagination to the point where that work doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah, you're going every day, but in your mind, you're not even working there anymore. And you don't tell people that are still in that because they're in a slave mentality. They're going to look at you like, oh, bro, Becky is tripping, man. Cornisha, bro, that bitch crazy, bro. You know, she be talking about her vision board. Hey, you heard about her? She be talking about how she gonna take a trip to, that girl said she finna take a trip to Ghana. She said she gonna take a trip take a trip to Fiji. Yeah, right. And that girl ain't gonna leave motherfucking, she ain't gonna leave San Diego. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't cast your pearls into swine, and you don't need to tell anybody what your plans and your visions are. Like I said, by the time you see this, I'm Mr. Madagascar. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be hanging out with lemurs and spotted geckos, and you know what I'm saying? Like, living that. And from there, I'm going to the next, and to the next, and to the next, because I've made a conscious decision. I've made a conscious decision, a real conscious decision, to live my life on that accord, to live my life on that frequency. And this is just the beginning. This ain't even started yet, y'all. So understand, man, that the airport is a portal. Understand that you are the ultimate currency. So where you want to take your current of energy is ultimately what's going to happen. Don't be limited. Raise your vibrational frequency. I'm also able to do these things because I understand how vibrations work. Also, it's not always about having the highest vibration. You got to have a high vibration, but sometimes you need to ground that and center it. If you feel, and I'm not going to tell you what to do, what to eat. I'm not Dr. Sebi. But if you do feel like you're way too airy and you need to ground your energy, then eat something a little more solid. Balance, moderation, wisdom. Know thyself. So one of the things that I will mention is that there's been times where I felt as if, I'm sure I could have, but it truly felt like it was very challenging for me to manifest on the physical realm because I was so far from the physical realm. I was not grounded. I was raw vegan, drinking juices all day and Zen and all the way up like that. And I couldn't, I was in the spiritual realm, but I wanted to also experience life on earth, which is where we're at. So once I started grounding the energy, even incorporating some things that my body just said it wanted to eat that day. It said I wanted a pizza that day. Okay, go get it. And balancing it out with water and with a fruit juice and just making sure that I'm staying on point. But continue to reaffirm your goals because they're here. We're in a time right now where everything's open. Everything is open. All the doors have opened. Walk, go in, run in, jump in, dive in, sprint in. You there. I love you. I'll be catching my flight here soon from Chicago to Ethiopia. And from Ethiopia on to the next destination. Love, Godson. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.